Hey y'all, welcome to Teens Make Pixel Lightning Keychains. I'm Jessie from the Teen Department of the headquarters location of the Spartanburg County Public Libraries. In this video, you will learn how to cross-stitch a lightning bolt keychain using plastic canvas and yarn. The supplies you need to complete this project are found in our Teens Make Pixel Lightning Keychain Pick-Me-Up Kit. See the description below to learn how to request one. Pick-me-ups are available on a first-come, first-served basis. The kit includes a square of plastic canvas, yellow yarn, black yarn, a needle in a plastic safety vial, a keychain, black felt, and your lightning bolt pattern. You will need to provide your own scissors, and you may also want a marker. Now let's get started. Take your pattern and your plastic canvas. Each colored square on the pattern represents a square on the plastic canvas. We're going to cut the canvas into the lightning shape before we begin cross-stitching. You can either count all the squares and figure out where to cut, or you can line up your pattern behind the plastic canvas and trace it with a marker like I'm doing. Use a marker to trace the pattern. The cross-stitching will cover up the marker later, so it's alright if it gets a bit messy. The pattern doesn't line up perfectly with the plastic canvas, so pay attention to how many squares are in each line of the pattern. I'm tracing my pattern in the corner of the plastic canvas. That way if I mess up, I'll have enough canvas left to try again. Now we're going to cut out the design. You want to cut carefully so that each square's border remains intact. Thread your needle with a long piece of yellow yarn. We're going to start on the second topmost row. Bring your needle up through the back of the square. Then insert the needle down through the square on the top row that's diagonal from your current square. Pull the yarn through until there's around ½ inch of yarn left on the back. For now, hold on to the tail with your finger on the back of your design. Bring your needle up through the back of the square next to the square you started with. Then bring it down through the square diagonal from it. You're going to repeat this process for the whole row. You're holding on to the tail of your yarn on the back of your design. That way when you're threading your needle up through the holes, it secures the yarn in the back. Once you've gotten to the end of the row, you're going to make another stitch over each stitch you just made in order to make an X. Bring your needle up through the back of the square in the second row farthest to the left. Then bring it down through the square diagonal from it, forming an X. Repeat this process to the end of the row. Always be careful when pulling your needle through and don't pull it towards your face. Flip your design over so you can see how the tail has been secured in the back. Snip the tail. Repeat the technique you used for the first 2 rows of stitches for the rest of the design. Start your next row of stitches in the rightmost square of the 3rd row. For this row, the second to the last square is the last one we'll go up through before turning around to cross our stitches. We're filling the interior of the design with yellow cross stitches, but leaving the edges stitchless for now so we can do a border in black later. If your yarn gets too short to work with comfortably, flip your design over. Insert the needle through the back of your stitches and pull the yarn through. Cut the tail. Since we'll be covering the back with felt later, it doesn't matter if the back looks a bit messy. Thread a new strand of yellow yarn through your needle and repeat the process at the beginning to secure the tail and the back of the design. Cross stitch until every square is filled. When you're done, flip your design over, insert the needle through the back of your stitches and pull the yarn through. Cut the tail. Now we're going to cut our felt to match the shape of the design. I'm securing my design in place with the needle so it's easier to cut around. Alternatively, you could use chalk to trace the design onto the felt instead of holding the plastic canvas in place. We're going to use a whip stitch to secure the felt to the back and cover the plastic border. Insert your needle up through a square. Then instead of bringing it down through a square, bring it to the back of your design and bring it up through a square again. You may want to go up through the same square multiple times to ensure the borders are totally covered. Try to stay towards the edge of the square instead of piercing the yellow yarn. As you go, capture the tail of your yarn on the back using your stitches, just like you did before. Once you get to the place where you'd like to attach your keychain, thread the needle through the keychain's bottom jump ring. Pull it tight. Then keep creating your design's border using the whip stitch. When your border's complete, flip your keychain over. Insert the needle through the back of your stitches and pull the yarn through. Cut the tail. And there you have it, a cross-stitched pixel lightning keychain. We have regular virtual teen programs, so follow at SCPL Teens on Instagram or Facebook to stay in the loop about programs, contests, and other giveaways. Thanks for watching!